Everybody knows how to do plastics, right? How to tell what a plastic is. If you flip over the bottom and look at it, make sure the cap's on it or it's empty. You'll see the recycling Mobius, and that's the chasing arrows, triangle, and inside that triangle will be a number. This water bottle, that's number 1. Sometimes when the bottom's like this, you got to look a little bit, or it'll be on the label somewhere, but almost always the number's on the bottom. Number 1's a polyethylene terpolate, and we absolutely take these. Type 2 plastic, high density polyethylene, that's going to be your liquid detergent bottles. There's the natural HDPE, that's that hazy melt jug that you can kind of see through. That's a high grade plastic. I used to bale it separate until we figured out until we figured we could commingle it, and I saw what my overhead cost was for trying to just separate one thing. You know, you're penny wise, pound foolish, that's how that goes. The guys that buy it love it for you. When you do all the labor and don't hardly get paid anything for it, that's a good deal. We commingle all that stuff. Liquid detergent bottles, juice bottles, those are all type 2. Same thing, you look at the bottom, it says 2 on it. We take 1 through 7. 1s and 2s are the main thing you're ever going to see. If they're not clean, class 1 landfill.
Okay.
They go to the end of the line, that goes in a compactor. Those compactors go to the class 1 landfill. We try and keep, when people have done the painstaking, their due diligence to divert waste, we want to try and keep that up. There's a lot of times it's stuff that we don't even take, you know. So I hate to put stuff out in landfill, the styrofoam. We get so much of it. I hate the stuff. And maybe for the future we get that for Dee, we get that little system set up. Once we get a little room, we'll probably do that. Every time that we got an old truck, when she shows up, my field supervisor, he just, he takes a knee and goes, what project are we doing now? But it's all good stuff. We just have to watch our cost and watch the areas that we're doing. When you dump it there to when it hits the tip floor, a day, maybe 2 days at the most.
Okay.
From when it gets on this floor until when it goes down and it's in a bale bailed up, I'm going to say it's another couple days. It kind of depends. That belt feeds from the bottom. So we could have a brand new delivery here. It's like, hey, that'll get bailed right away. It may, just because it feeds from the bottom, if it doesn't tumble down, it may sit there for a while. But typically a couple of days. Then from when that thing's a bale sitting on the ground, we're doing like 2 loads a week. 2 trailers a week that goes to Armstrong World Industries. So you're looking at from when it's in your house to when it's being made into Armstrong World Industries. By the way, I said they're an end user, not a broker. They're making acoustical ceiling tile out of that stuff. So from when you read the newspaper to when it's an acoustical ceiling tile, depending on how long he leaves it on his floor down there, it could be another product within a week. And we were tracking it since we're partners with the city and they're sharing information with us. What we're looking at is they're diverting approximately 20% of the waste generated. Because remember, they're not taking glass.
Yeah.
So, and glass is kind of heavy. So right now, by weight, we're waste diversion of 20% is the rate right now of total waste. And we're saying that they're capturing, they're talking yard trash and everything. Usually when they do it, they're not just counting MSW, they're counting everything. We're diverting 20% of the waste by weight is coming to the MRF. So that's pretty good. Contamination rate. What's the contamination rate? And that's varied between whether it's drop-off or the curbside program. Curbside program's looking pretty good. Drop-off program, it's unmanned site. They're getting me a little bit there, and it's never any worse than 10%, usually less than that. So when we track all those weights, so I get to know, when I'm selling, I see what my incoming tonnage is, of course, for my recycle trucks, and I see what I've sold. One thing that I didn't do, we're doing the glass, we're just crushing the glass and dropping it over there. So we were looking at it, they were going, boy, your contamination's like, glass isn't going back on the scales, it's going over the stockpile, and that's heavy. And I factored that in, and it made made everybody feel a little bit better.